calling to order our regular meeting of municipal council, Monday, January 29th at 6:30 p.m. at the South Edwardsburg Community Center here in Johnstown. The second item on our agenda is the approval of our agenda. Deputy Mayor Dillabaugh, I believe you have that item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Martel that the municipality council approves the agenda as presented.
Changes, additions, okay, we'll call the question, all in favor. Moving on to disclosure of pecuniary interest, conflict of interest, and the general nature thereof. Does anyone have any declarations or disclosures to make?
None by me.
Okay, hearing none, moving on to 4, delegations and presentations. There are none. Number 5, items listed under consent agenda are considered routine and no longer require a further discussion or enacted in one motion. The exception to this rule is that any member may request that one or more of the items be pulled for discussion and voted on separately. Does anyone want an item pulled from consent agenda? Go on. Then Councillor Martel, I believe you have the item. Can you bring it forward?
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh. The Municipal Council receives and approves the following consent agenda items as presented. Regular Council, December 11th, 2023. Special Council, December 21st, 2023. Special Council, January 15th, 2024. Port Management Committee, November 20th, 2023. Public Library Board, November 28th, 2024. Committee of the Whole, Administration and Operations, Budget Meeting number 1, January 8th, 2024. Application for severance, 1012 Scott Road, Hamel. Easement Agreement IFO 2099 Dundas, Spesco Holdings, Inc. Direction to staff.
Thank you, Councillor Martel.
You're welcome.
Call the question then on all the consent agenda. I'm all in favor.
Right.
Moving forward, then I will look to staff just to make sure that I'm correct, but I think that puts us down to number 9C. Is that correct? Okay, then we are looking at the 2023 Cardinal and Industrial Park Water System Annual Reports. Councillor Ward, I believe you have that item.
I do. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale that Municipal Council 1 receive the 2023 annual water reports for the CWS and EDS, and 2, direct staff to post the annual water reports to the township website, and 3, direct staff to notify users via social media and newspaper of report availability, as recommended by the Committee of the Whole Administration and Operations.
Thank you, Councillor Ward. All right, further discussion on the water. It's good. Good. Hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? Good. Second page is going to be ordered. All right, so we are looking at the 2024 budget for environmental services, water and wastewater systems. Councillor Smale, I believe you have that.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the Municipal Council approves the 2024 environmental services budget for all water and wastewater systems as recommended by the Committee of Whole Administrations and Operations.
Thank you, Councillor Smale. I just want to learn staff just quickly for 1 second. I seem to have lost my page on my electronic note. So anybody give me an idea of what page we're on? Sorry?
48.
48 is the page, the actual page number?
Yeah, 48.
Okay. Bear with me, we'll get there. Okay. All right, questions, comments regarding the water and wastewater systems budgets? No one? No, you look like you did.
No, I guess I do. And it was just maybe a quick question, I'm hoping, but so we're gonna basically see just the revised version of this in July or so when we talk about new rates, or we're just gonna talk about the rates.
Through the chair, Councilor Ward, you'll just see the rates at that time. Because these are just the budgets that are being approved right now with the rates that we would have to an amendment to.
And I think it's worthwhile noting, to staff, I just want to make sure, with the treasurer that, both of these show no increase, correct?
Correct.
Holding the line on the water and wastewater
Correct.
numbers. Okay. Any other comments? No, hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? You opposed? That close. No, him. Oh, he put his hand up first. All right, so then we're on to 9E, I believe, which is the purchase of a half-ton truck for public works. Deputy Mayor Delaval, you have that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, moved by myself and second by Council Martel. That Municipal Council one provide pre-budget approval and authorize the purchase of a new half-ton truck with an estimate of $60,000 in the 2024 capital budget. And two, direct staff to prepare an issue for request for proposal. RFP for the purchase of a new half-ton truck. And three, declare the 2011 P1 20008 recreation truck as surplus to the needs of the township, as recommended by the Committee of the Whole Administration Operations.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Further discussion or comments on this? I mean, it was thoroughly debated, but. No, just to staff that quickly, declared surplus, we follow our surplus, policy, which means that it would go for sale or gov deals, or what's the plan to dispose of both of these items?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through conversation at the budget meeting, the feeling was that it would probably just another search for training with the fire department and then push back.
Not a lot of life left in these two, is there?
There is not a lot of like, the units that serve the township now, they'll serve them through education training. And
They may, from the nodding of heads, they may not even have to cut the top off, so.
You want to talk? Oh.
Sorry, did you want to say something, Kurt?
The old red truck was actually passed down for that to public works zones.
It's seen its life, hasn't it? Yeah, good. Well, and I'm glad that it can go to the fire department and then for scrap as well. It's good. Okay, I think one thing that's worthwhile noting in this one is it does say new in this one. Not used in this one, and it's 60K. And I will say I noticed last night for the first time, and I don't know how long, probably pre-COVID, that I actually saw a 0% financing commercial for remaining stock on 2023 trucks. So, there is that change is slowly starting to happen. It's not 8 and 9% interest on this. So we very well may get within this number and potentially even have a 0% if it was chosen. So starting to look a little better. Okay, so any further comments? Anyone? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? Of course. A long overdue. All right, so we are on to item F, I believe, which is the Johnstown Ball Diamond lighting project under Councillor Smale. I think you would have that.
I do, your worship, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the municipal council award tender ECRDC -23-07 for the installation of new poles and lights at the Johnstown Ball Diamond at to Macmar Electric, the amount of $99,311.30 plus the non-rebated HST amount of $1,747.80, and two, to authorize up to 5,000 contingency to be used at the discretion of the facilities manager for any unanticipated expenses, as recommended by the Committee of Whole Administration and Operations.
Councillor Ward, comments on this item? Deputy Mayor?
We just have one, and I can't remember, Mike, it's, when this gives, this company the authorization to move ahead, will it be ready for the ball season?
through the chair to the deputy mayor, that's the anticipation of the state needs delivery on the poles and the lights. We're hoping to have everything ready to go by the end of the year.
Good, thank you.
Good. Certainly a well-discussed item at our last budget meeting. We felt, the need to bring it forward so we could get it out there and hopefully it does get, installed and everything done. Just help support the growing league. It's, gone from maybe 2 or 3 teams up to 7 or 8 and certainly want to see that growth continue. And if additional lights helps with with that growth, that's a fantastic thing. So it's good. Not seeing anyone else wanting to comment, so I will call the question then on item 10F. All in favor? Good. Let's bring on the light. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up. Item 9G, the older C70 sidewalk plow unit. Councilor Martel, I believe you have that one.
Thank you, sir. Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council approve the purchase of a new Holder C70 sidewalk plow and attachments for a total of $157,640 plus non-rebated HST and direct staff to determine the funding source to cover the expense as recommended by the Committee of the Whole Administration and Operations.
Thank you.
That's all. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Anyone want to or wish to comment on 9G? Both sides? You want to go?
No, go ahead, Mr. Ward.
No, I was gonna wait till I see what the deputy mayor decided first, actually, so.
My concern is, now that it's passed,
It's not passed.
sorry.
Not passed yet.
Right, I'm very sorry. In the next 30 seconds. They probably pass. What is our timetable for the new one arriving? And how is our number 1 and 2 that we have now? Where is that?
Directing to the city.
Through the mayor, we are anticipating through the conversations that the arrival of the new unit could be as early as February 7th.
Nice.
So
No storms, good.
I think we're in a little bit of a window, hopefully that, stays the way that the forecast, shows and, I believe that the 1 unit is up and functioning.
And did you want to speak?
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, just one thing that I know we talked about before, and I know we said, 2024, a little bit of forgiveness, obviously. And the hope is that by the time we get into next winter, we've come up with some strategies so that we're trying to minimize the amount of time these things transport back and forth from Spencerville, the Cardinal, the Pittston Depot, right? So that's.
So through the chair, as mentioned, through the that budget meeting number 2, that we would be committing to by the next winter season. Preventing the movement of those units unless there's breakdowns, and we will have a contingency to deal with those.
And so, by approving, or potentially approving this tonight, 2 weeks from now, we would have a brand new unit with all of the attachments in use and on the sidewalks, hopefully, by that February 7th date.
So through the chair, we anticipate to have the unit. We will likely have a demo plow on it while we're waiting for the new plow and attachments to arrive. But it will be functional and in service during that time, and then once the new attachments go, then they'll get swapped in.
It's long overdue. Fantastic. All right, further comments, questions at all? Seeing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? All right, pre-budget approval. Let's get those sidewalks cleaned. Council. All right, so we on to number 10 already? Yep. Okay, so correspondence, Councilor Ward.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Waddy Smail, that municipal council receives the correspondence listings for the following dates as previously circulated. December 13th, 2023, December 20th, 2023, January 3rd, 2024, January 10th, 2024, January 17th, 2024, and January 24th, 2024.
Pass her down. All right, any questions or comments or anything coming out of the correspondence listings?
I did notice on the January 10th, there's a piece in there about the county's having public consultation at I guess at our town hall on February 7th. I haven't seen any advertisement or anything about that. Is that something that they should be doing it, I believe? But do we have it on our website as well or anything like that? Or?
I believe that information was, is on the website. With respect to that, yes, to that upcoming meeting.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Just to follow up on that, will, on the website, will it be shared by our social media as well?
No, I believe it's that, but we will certainly. Yeah.
Okay. Good, all right. Just reminding all members of council that anything that is on correspondence can be added if there's a discussion item in there that anyone wants brought forward or brought into a discussion. That's where you get your items. There's all kinds of things that come in and out of our correspondence. Just ask to have them included on agenda for a future discussion. Okay, seeing no further comments on correspondence, I will call the question. All in favor of receiving correspondence? Then we are on to disbursements, and that's Councillor Martel.
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Dillabaugh, that municipal council receives the payment of municipal invoices circulated and dated as follows. Report dated December 15th, 2023-233 for $180. Report dated December 21st, 2023-236, $1,934,358.74. Report dated December 29th, 2023-240, $397,169.36. Report dated January 2nd, 2023-237, $195,670.37. Report dated January 15th, 2024-005 for $22,022.04. Report dated January 17th, 2024-006, $236,780.51.08. Report dated January 24th, 2024-013, $225,537.31. Report dated January 26th, 2024-015, $37,226.48 for a total of $3,278,915.38. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Receiving our disbursements. Does anyone have questions? Comments regarding our disbursement? You guys are fantastic. Let's, I think these have already been paid, have they not? This is just receiving most of them, yeah. All right, I'm gonna call the question then on disbursements. All in favor? Aye. All right, bylaws number 12, 12A, excuse me, County Road 2 Rehabilitation Project, Adventure Bylaw, Deputy Mayor Dillabaugh, I believe you have that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Joe Martel that the movie be granted leave to introduce the bylaw to authorize board upon the organization debentures in the principal in the amount of $1,030,150 towards the cost of County Road 2 rehabilitation project that shall constitute the first and second reading thereof.
Right, first and second reading. Adventure bylaw, the deputy mayor can get them separated. Stuck together. All right, first and second reading, $1,030,150 towards the cost of County Road 2. I'm correct in thinking that that's slightly just under budget.
Through the chair, Yes, slightly.
Just under, yeah, we did that. All right, first and second reading, any questions, any comments, anyone? No, all right, I'll call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous, you can proceed third.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Council Martel, the bylaw authorized voting upon amortizing the venture with principal amount of $1,030,150 towards the cost of the county road two rehabilitation project being now read third and final. Pass signed sealed number 2024-02.
All right, third reading, same wording. Comments to the debenture and all? Just looking to the treasurer, the debenture through. This is going through IO. And the rate was 4.69, so considerably less than prime, good money invested, $1 million. All right, long overdue project that certainly was what, 9 applications? Getting there on that one, right? So, yes,
I would suspect that it's maybe done, yeah.
yeah,
To the chair, to the treasurer, how many years is that? 20?
all right, third reading. Let's get this done. All in favor? All right, and let's. All right, bylaw for, this one's a cleanup project, I think, right? So. 12B, which is road widening, Hurley Road, Councillor Ward, I think you have this one.
Yes, I do. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize the acceptance of a certain deed of land and to assume and dedicate the said land for road purposes in the township of Edwardsburg Cardinal and shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
Okay, so first and second reading. Just somebody want to speak to this?
To the chair, you'll hopefully the clerk, give a little briefing on the situation.
Thank you.
It's clean up.
Yeah,
To the chair, it is just an administrative cleanup. We received a week ago correspondence from a lawyer's office for property that's being sold. Through that process, they needed to get updated surveys done. And through that mechanism, they would identify that back in the 80s. A parcel of land part 2 on the survey was identified as being purposed for road widening. It's not done very commonly anymore in this area. That was back in the 60s, I think, through services, through purchases, sales. So the last mentioned was in the 80s for this person.
Yeah.
And now it's just the land sold, they need to clean it up and financially transfer it over to the township. It's not saying it won't use the name point in time, it's just we need to keep it in our.
and thank you for that, clerk. And just looking at the diagram, just so that I'm. Like I have this right, it's like parts 1, 2, 3, and 5, 4 and 5.
Only part 2.
So only the part 2, the rest are staying where they are.
Or have already been.
Or have already been, so that somehow this one just got sort of slipped, eh? Yeah, okay, all right. So first and second, everybody understand? All right, coming back into the township, right? It's part of the road. Okay, all right. Call the question then on first and second reading. All in favor? Unanimous, we can proceed to third.
Okay, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale, that a municipal bylaw to authorize the acceptance of a certain deed of land and to assume and dedicate the said land for road purposes in the township of Edwardsburg Cardinal be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-1.
Thank you very much. All right, let's get it cleaned up. Any comments, further comments, question? Seeing none, hearing none. I will call the question on third reading. All in favor? Moving on then to the number 13, which is the CAO's administrative update. Councillor Smale, can you bring that item forward?
Yes, your worship, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Joe Martell, that the municipal council receives the CAO's administrative report as presented.
CAO, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just highlight a couple areas. With respect to the Spring Home Trade Show, that's going to be held again this year in Prescott on March 21st to the 23rd. And once again, we will be a title sponsor. With respect to affordable housing information session, we'll be holding a second affordable housing information session in partnership with the county, township of Augusta and Prescott on Tuesday, March 5th at 5:30 p.m. at Fire Station number 1 in Maitland. And the information is in the reports with respect to registration. Baker Brown property, we had staff met with representatives from the Baker Brown family and EBB Engineering, discuss servicing, and staff have provided EBB Engineering the okay to proceed with Schedule B Class 3A on the wastewater portion, which is a requirement as part of amending our ECA for an additional discharge window. We'll have more information either in February or March with respect to this property. On page 2, we have provided a letter of support to Save the Nation Conservation as part of their application under the Natural Resources Canada Regional Modeling Stream. And part of this will be updated mapping that other items that will provide advanced warning of flood hazards in the future. With respect to bylaw is actively monitoring and enforcing winter parking restrictions during the winter events and coordinating with the Public Works Department. Under Treasury, year-end audit is scheduled for February 26th to March 1st. With respect to facilities and recreation, Family Day Free Skate at both arenas will be on February 19th. With respect to the pickleball court, the contractor has the parts and supplies ready, and will be applying the fill in early spring, so it should be ready for use this summer. Operation Public Works, just note that staff is just finishing up the collection of Christmas trees in Garden Hall, Johnstown, New Mexico, Extensionville. And there have been 14 weather events to date this season. With respect to operations and environmental services, Snyder Electric completed the UV valve with a communication upgrade. So the situation that a little bit of a need for improved communication with the UV system and power outage. So that has been corrected. Quality management system reviews, risk assessment and internal audit have been completed. Under Stretchville wastewater system, the wet and dry flow assessment report has now been submitted to the ministry. And we'll be coming forward with the report most likely at February 12th meeting of administration and operations. With respect to the housing enabling water systems fund. With respect to the fire department, been advised that we have been successful with a training grant application under the Fire Marshal Public Safety Council, and we will be receiving $1,500 in training material and supplies. Still under the fire department, power equipment at all stations have been serviced by Firefix. And a final note, emergency management, we received notice from the OFM EM field officer that our 2023 program was being compliant with the requirements under the Act. I'll go over to the back to the mayor, and if there are any other questions on the next signature?
Thank you, CEO. All right, I'm just gonna start this way and I'll work my way down. Are questions or comments?
Just one question.
Or
From the CAO to, I guess, UCO, or through Dave, excuse me, through the mayor to CAO. According to the bylaw, not according to it, I'm just wondering about the bylaw, for parking. He only comes out when it snows, he doesn't, ticket if there's no snow, like he doesn't for.
Through the chair, maybe I'll have the clerk do a quick overview of the process with respect to that.
That's through the chair, our bylaw officer is continually monitoring, parking infractions, especially when they're parking this time of day. I can't say he only goes out because that isn't 100% true. And we don't want to lead the public to believe that he only enforces on the day that it snows. He is always monitoring to ensure compliance. He actively goes out when his crew goes out, in the evenings really nice. To ensure that the vehicles aren't impeding, snow clearing, ice clearing, etc. If they are, then if it's a first go, then it's usually a warning, you should be able to see the person, you provide more information and material. If it's an ongoing issue, then a ticket may be issued and it continues and the individual does not correct their behavior and another ticket or multiple tickets may be issued, then there is within the bylaw the allowance to tow the vehicle if it's continual non-compliance issues.
I have one more question concerning the bylaw. You said a warning, so if he gives one warning to one vehicle, does he give a warning to every vehicle or those that have broken the law before that have already had a warning would get a ticket, am I correct?
Through the chair, it depends on the situation. Most times at the beginning of each winter maintenance time of the year, we provide public education information throughout the community. And then the first go around of the first big snow where our public works crew is out, he usually goes out within an hour before and identifies vehicles, issues warnings. If they continue to be non-compliant, then tickets will be issued and further investigation will continue as well.
Thank you very much for the information. Thank you, Richard.
Councilor Ward?
No, I didn't have much. I just wanted to just mention, you mentioned so that anybody who's watching, any of our fans watching, as well, just a thanks to the recreation team for for the family skate day or family day. It's great to see that coming up again. But, good to make sure that we're doing that kind of stuff so that families can get together and have a nice skate on us sort of thing. So that's all.
Yes, I do. I just duly chaired the CEO, a little update maybe on Lockmaster Meadows subdivision. Are we getting closer? I met with him a couple of times. I told him what we're looking for and so on and so forth. Has there been any communication between him and yourselves?
Thank you, Burns.
Through the chair, I've not had any direct conversation with the developer in the last week or two. I'm not sure if there's been any correspondence with the development coordinator. She's away currently. So, but I would say steps are being made. I think the key is to get the information provided to us in one big package, so we can do a more fulsome review it instead of sort of piece by piece. It makes it a much longer process, and a lot more time, a lot more staff time spent. So we are advancing the draft subdivision agreement. Hopefully we'll keep that process moving along.
Thank you very much for the update. Duly chaired to the facility manager. Now, pickleball court contractor has parts and supplies. That scares me. It says parts and supplies. He has it. And applying coating. Now, is he applying that green coating like they have in Maynard? And it will be, and it will
We'd be
be,
supplying the nets, balls, not having.
and we'll have the lines for tennis and pickleball.
That is correct.
Okay, and we're just gonna use our tennis nets. We're just gonna use the tennis nets, though, right, for
That's
both?
correct, yeah.
Good. Perfect, everything I want to hear, I heard, geez, I like it, Mike, I like it. I had one, oh, yes. Duly chair to the CAO on the drain, Newport Drain. We were in Toronto, I went to a seminar on CN not wanting because they feel that they're under federal regulations, they don't need to help anybody, municipality drains. And there's a lot of municipalities taking them to court and that they owe a lot of money. Could you, in the short and sweet, is this Newport Drain would be part of CN? Do we know? And if so, could you?
But through the chair, I believe there is a very small portion of that, Newport County Road 2 grading that would be, in the CN catchment area, but very large. That would be the, I believe, the only municipal grading that would have that would form part of it. CN.
Thank you. I was concerned about that.
So piggyback on that, but if CN's not paying their, what we've been told is that they're not gonna pay any of the until the court decision comes down. Any of their share when it comes towards municipal drains or any maintenance of them. What happens? Do we just wait for that money? Or does that, is it the United Counties that's collecting? Is it the United Counties project? Or is it us that's going to try to collect? And how do we do that?
So through the chair with respect to the municipal drains, it should be, we'll call it the invoices to the benefit of the owners, it would be all under the township.
So we're just waiting then until the court decision's over if they don't pay.
So, yeah, so we're probably, fall of 2024 before we're issuing the.
Should see what the amount is.
Should be a resolution. Okay, Councilor, are you done?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
I have nothing, no other questions.
Okay, I do have a couple, and the Hughes, like the HEWS 200 million infrastructure program, I sent through an email to staff about is there the potential with the Baker or Meadowlands or Lockmaster, is there, I mean, it has to be, because in my mind, I was thinking earlier that maybe Adelaide Street or Highway 2 might make sense for that, but it says here, or you said that staff had sat through 2 training seminars. I've only listened to one announcement and read a little bit, and it basically said that it was to, spur on new housing. And so in my mind, Reed Street and I might have said Adelaide, Reed Street and Highway 2 really isn't going to spur on new development, but these other 3 subdivisions are. Do we have a plan for a potential application?
So I think through the chair, part of the report in February, we look at some options that we could spend an application on. There, although there wouldn't necessarily be, it's not likely that there would be housing development directly through the township. Through an upgrade at the first salvation treatment plant, but that may be an option with the additional basin to add capacity that way.
That could be a partner, because it is looking for partners too, because of their expansion plans.
It could be a partnership there, and then yes, we're looking at some of the subdivisions to see if there's potential for timeline, or if there's potentially some additional upgrades that may be needed at some of our facilities that may indirectly allow for density development by capacity or abilities. Just looking wide to additional uses.
Okay.
So we're still kind of wrapping ourselves around that application. We'll bring back some options for the Canadian Council to decide.
Okay, thank you for that. So going back in, and I don't want it to be a discussion, just a tiny update. Then, so the Baker Brown to go to the next step where it's suggesting it's going. Does that mean that it is the potential of hooking up to the wastewater is there? Is that what the study is for? Or is it septic, or is it?
No, so I would say that through the discussions, there certainly is interest by the property owner to be able to hook up to municipal sewer and sort of communal system. So I think there's opportunity there. What is unknown at this time is what the water capacity available is. So that work is getting done now, which would be covered by potential developer. The wastewater portion, because we're where we are with the capacity, regardless of whether this particular project goes forward or not, we're in the need to be able to expand. So it's worthwhile to start that process now, so that we're ready regardless of what
Fantastic, fantastic. That's one that, we saw at a CDC meeting, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and to actually hear that it's moving forward in a way in which the entire committee felt it should move forward is fantastic to hear that the potential of that is actually happening. So it's wonderful to see 120 building permits. How's that in relationship to normal?
Mr. Chair, I suspect that you were going to ask me that, and
You'll get back to me?
I forgot to do my double checks on where that compared to previous years.
Okay.
So I do apologize on that. I believe it is maybe slightly down, but I don't want to.
It's in the ballpark.
Okay. Well,
I think.
yes, it's in a wide spectrum range.
Okay. And the last two are good news stories, I think. So seeing phase one of what I know it's not Councilor Marchel's total vision, but seeing the completion of phase one and the cleanup of the sign around the Cardinal sign and actually being able to see it again and seeing the base of it again, it's fantastic and it looks so good. And I hope the cleanup continues, but just the beginning of that, I've actually had a couple of people comment back and, it's all been positive. So, good for pushing it through, and I hope to see that it continues, that more of it continues. So, the last one is a question I was asked too late to do anything about it this year. It's on here that we collect all the Christmas trees. One of our community partners, like the groups that run festivals and business associations, that sort of stuff, had asked about doing a Christmas tree burn. Is there any way that we can facilitate that potentially for next year? I mean, we collect
through the chair that was done periodically in the past. It's always a bit of a challenge with respect to timing of collecting the trees and scheduling the event and where it's going to be and the best and items of entry. So it would have to be something that we have to look at a little bit further, but we could. To the chair, anything's possible.
Thank you.
But
Yes, all right. That's all that I.
Not as,
Doesn't feel.
not as,
right.
not as,
Doesn't feel warm- doesn't feel warm and fuzzy on the bird.
Not working as well. So I'm cautious.
Okay, all right, fair points. I just always like, I like the possibility. Okay, so, I know that always opens up round two of questions. Does, anyone have round two questions for the CAO? All right, seeing none then, it's been moved, it's been seconded. I think I will call the question then. All in favor of receiving the CAO's administrative report as presented? Great, I will say well done to staff and for, continuing on to the great work. I really look forward to the updates on both the Baker Brown, Meadowlands and Lockmasters. And whatever we need to do at this table to keep pushing those items forward so that we can get them to, start getting shovels in ground. If there's anything we can do, get it to us. All right, so I guess we're on to me. No, we're not on to me yet. We're on to councillor inquiries and notices of motion. Does anyone have an inquiry or a notice of motion to bring forward? Chris?
I'd like to put a notice of motion forward for, I guess, our next budget meeting, and we're doing an operations budget meeting soon. I'd like to put on there for us to discuss possibility of some electronic signage around for emergency communication. I don't know, just as a ballpark, probably around the vicinity of $30,000, but I know we're gonna work on getting some pricing for that meeting. So we'll hopefully have that.
So you can work with staff in advance of that meeting so that you have something that you can argue or table for. Okay, staff, good. Does anyone else have a notice? Yeah.
I do have an inquiry, and that is, United Counties, when I was up there speaking on behalf of, our, reducing our lots from 2.47 acres to 1 acre. She said everything should be done and returned to us by mid-January. Have you heard anything on that?
Through the chair, that's not my understanding at this point. Will, I think part of the item is the implementation policy that will be bringing forward next week at the committee of community development, but to at least the peer review and then be able to provide that information back.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, and are there any further inquiries and notices? All right, seeing none, then we'll move on to mayor's report. The mayor would like to say.
You can go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna. Well, maybe I will a little bit. I do want to say congratulations though to the group here at the Sierra Hall. They had the chili cook-off on the 27th, and it was very well organized, and I believe it was pretty well attended. And I just want to compliment Sierra on the great work and all the volunteers and the cooks. I think every single chili there was fantastic, and as much as they give winners, I think everyone. I mean, it wasn't my top three certainly weren't the top three. So well done to everyone involved.
My top one chair wasn't. But there was a-
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm just gonna leave it.
matter. Didn't even say it. Okay, so but you do get the honor of bringing that item forward, though. Thanks.
Can't even find them, so nervous. Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Martel, that Municipality Council receives the mayor's report as presented.
Did you like how it was presented?
Yeah.
All right, then I will call the question on receiving that. I don't know if that one was unanimous or not, but I marked it that way. All right, so question period. Any questions at all? Nobody's online. Everyone in the gallery has gone home. There is no closed session tonight, which is fantastic news. So we have the confirmation bylaw. Councilor Martel, you have that item?
Moved by myself, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stephen Hilbog, that the bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution be now passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-04.
Great, there's never discussion or anything that's discussed confirmation bylaw. I will call the question on the confirmation bylaw. Ratifying all matters dealt with today. All in favor? Good, and we move then to adjournment. Councilor Ward, you have it.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councilor Waddy Snail. This municipal council does now adjourn at 7:23 PM. That was so close.
Non-debatable motion. I'll call the question. All in favor? That is our leg.